This is the Mohead Jaw Show, showcasing the newest and oldest beer styles,
heady conversations,
behind-the-scenes clips,
and subscriber exclusives.
Do you like craft beer?
We do too.
I'm Million Blair.
And I'm Deacon Brother Trent.
Get ready to
Pour heavy. What's up?
Hey.
How's it going?
Oh, man. I might be a few beers and a few podcasts into my Saturday.
A couple chicken
good.
wings and a couple of slabs of brisket in.
Goddamn. And some loaded tots.
And the loaded tatas.
Tatas.
Holy shit.
Loaded tatas.
We're back at it again.
Hey, Trent.
At Firebird.
Still at Firebird.
Man, we've been here all day. We've been podcasting like crazy people. We've been hearing great stories.
Yes.
We've been crying. We've been laughing. We've been cussing, all kinds of shit. But now we're at the fourth one. We are here with one of the other patrons.
Oh, one of the
shit.
OG patrons.
Holy shit. We've got Jason.
Jason
What is going
Carr
on, Jason?
and
Man, it is good to finally meet you finally.
It's good to finally meet you, too.
And it's glad that I got to meet the money to the face.
You acting like it's throwing down $1 million an episode.
It feels like it to me, though. Hey, it means
It
that
means
much
that
to
much.
us. That's
Exactly.
right.
It
Exactly.
means that much to
That's
us.
right. 100%.
The support.
So thanks for coming to the Firebird and hanging out with us and doing an episode. Appreciate it.
So I got to address like an elephant in the room here real quick. Like, I've been listening from the very beginning, and I did not picture your voice to your body is not like what I fucking pictured at all.
What did you picture? Let's draw it out.
I was picturing a John Popper, Blue Traveler looking motherfucker wearing like all black and just sitting back and just chilling. And then I don't see this like fit guy, with this beard, and I'm like, what's going on? I don't get it.
I appreciate all of that. That's amazing.
All respect.
I appreciate you calling me fit. That's pretty dope. I just cut logs and roll logs all day. That's all I do.
Well, I was just asking Ant the other day. I was just like, how do you guys stay fit drinking beer all the time? I'm like, I can't. I mean, look at me.
He did say that he asked that question.
I'm like, he was like, well, you just eat vegetables and meat, and then your carbs are all beer.
Facts. That's
and
your
I'm
bread.
Like,
that's your bread.
What the hell?
So instead of me doing that regiment, so I'm a logger in Edinburgh, and I cut and roll logs and do a bunch of physical work. So that's my
you're burning the calories.
That's my burning the calories there. I get paid to burn the calories, and then when I get home, I just replenish them when I get home. After I walk the dog, right? After I walk the dog. Yep, there's me right there, John Poplar. And instead of having a bandolier of harmonicas, it's just a bunch of different beers and bombers and shit.
Hell yeah.
Kind of like Silent Bob when he opens up his trench coat and just pulls out shit. You're
That's
just
right.
Pulling out beers.
That's right. 100%.
Right on.
Yep. Okay. Cool. Hell yeah.
See, I told you when Jason hopped on, that there's going to be an elephant that will be addressed.
That's funny. That's funny. What's even more funny is that I'm wanted by the Russian government.
That's a fact.
And what's the other government that doesn't like my shit? You don't remember? It's not Bosnia, whatever it is, but I'm actually wanted in Russia right now.
So you can drop like, hey, I'm wanted by the Russian government, and not like go into that a little bit.
Oh, I mean, I was getting there.
Oh, okay. All right.
So I guess some of the things that I talk about or the music that's it's in my videos, the Russian government don't like that. And so they sent was it on Facebook?
It was on Instagram.
It was on Instagram. They sent like not like a cease and desist, but it was like, you have like 7 days to react to this, or otherwise you're gonna have it was like disciplinary action, this, that, or whatever. But it's like the Russian government does not approve of your music taste and this, that, and the other. And that's happened, 2 or 3 times now?
It's twice so far. Twice so far.
Watch out, Putin.
Hey, watch out, Putin. Watch out, Putin.
So yeah,
go ahead, y'all.
I'm wanted by 2 different countries, and here we are.
And I know how you can put a stop to the stuff from Russia.
Let's
at
do
least.
It. Okay.
All you have to do is just, we're right here in Nashville. Go ask somebody for their horse, and then just take off your shirt and take some pictures and send it back over, and you're clear.
Why is that?
I mean, look at all those pictures they put on Putin. He's riding through a horse with his
wrong.
shirt off.
Oh,
Yep.
I haven't seen those.
Putin look at that and be like, man, that's my brother.
And there you go. And there you go. Problem solved. Problem solved.
I think I might.
Problem solved.
I might be able to diffuse the whole debacle over in Ukraine right now if I just went over. I'm like, all right, just take my shirt off and get on a horse. And
Oh,
go
head
up
y'all is fixing to stop a war right now.
We're gonna
y'all.
do it. We're the antidote.
We are the antidote to the war.
We're
then-
antidote.
And then all you got to do is just scream out, I am not a John Papa looking motherfucker.
All right. Well,
Did not tell you.
What's the president of Ukraine? What's his name?
Oh, shit.
Stavarsky.
Stavarsky? All right,
something
well,
like that.
if you need me, homeboy, give me a call at 812-765, and I will come defuse this war for you, bub. So, yeah.
And there you have
There
it.
we have it.
Holy
Holy
cow. Holy cow,
Holy shit.
man. So here we are pouring new beer. We got our patron, Jason. And congratulations to you, Jason. I've said it a couple times, but you are recently crowned Area, 53?
Four.
Four. Area 54.
Area 51.
Speaking
So
champion.
close. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Yes.
Speaking
Congrats.
champion.
Soon to be division
Come
champion.
on, bring it,
Ooh,
bring it, bring it. That's what I
division
like to
champion.
hear.
Okay, he's coming
That's
hot.
what he's coming in hot.
Damn, boy.
He's coming
Coming
in
hot, spitting them words, dude.
Hell yeah, man. So what was your I know this story, but Heaven and Trent and our listeners don't know the story about how you got into public speaking and presentation, oration.
So when I was in college, I did pretty well in the public speaking course, right? I had to take it as a requirement. I remember the first day that I was in there, my dad had taken the same course and had the same teacher because he went back to college later in life. And the first day of class, the teacher was just like, Jason Carr? And I was like, yeah. And she just looked. And she goes, Does your dad Ron? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, well, he did really good in this class, so I hope you do too.
Oh wow.
High
She was that
standards
old.
already.
Like she knew your dad.
I mean, no, honestly, my dad was just like 4 years behind me because he
Okay.
went back to school.
Okay.
So it was all good. It was all good. But, and so since I did really good in class for that, when I was graduating, I was like, I need to find some places to go to network and try to find a job, right? And so I looked it up in, Nuvo. It was a newspaper
Yeah.
down in Indianapolis, and I saw an advertisement. I was like, well, I'll go check this out. I'll walk in, I'll impress all these fools, and somebody be offering me a job. And when I walked in and gave my speech, they were like, yeah, you're pretty good, but you could do this and this and this and this and this right, better. And I was like, oh, wow, okay. So after I got over the initial, I just failed, then they were like, no, we'll help you get better. And so that's why I've kind of stuck with Toastmasters ever since.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. I like that. So basically someone's like, man, you can't do that. And you're like, I can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And lately, the thing that I've been obsessed with was how small interactions just like change your life. And so as an example, the speech that I gave where I won the area contest was there was a girl that I met in third grade. And she was like, I was an outcast at the time. I was popular, like super popular the year before. And then all of a sudden this new kid comes in and I lose all my popularity. And then this new girl comes in and she's kind of like an outcast too. And she was my friend for like 2 years. And for some reason, all of these years from that small time that we were together, I've always remembered her. And then I think about like one of my best friends, a girlfriend and I had just broken up, and I walked into this class, and me and my girlfriend had the same class together. So I was trying to figure out where to sit at, where nobody would be like asking me shit like what happened. And I saw this dude, and I was like, I don't like him. He don't like me. I'll sit behind him. He won't say shit to me. And then I sat down, and he just kind of like, why is this guy walking over here? And I sat behind him, and he turned around, and he was like, dude, you okay? And I was like, yeah, dude, why? He's like, well, because you ain't sitting over there. And I was like, well, me and my girlfriend broke up. And He goes, oh, shit, me and my girlfriend just broke up. And that one small, tiny little interaction, dude was best man at my wedding.
No shit.
Yeah. You know, my kids call him Uncle Keith.
Man.
And so I'm obsessed with those little interactions that we have that just turn into some major shit later on in
the
life.
serendipitous of it all, like we always talk about.
Serendipity-doo-dah-day.
Right. That's awesome. I love that. This motherfucker keeps getting cooler and cooler the more he talks, man.
I'm trying to tell you. Man, let me tell you about this motherfucker over here. So when I was president of Toastmasters, he was my vice president.
Oh, he's a VP.
He was the VP.
Okay.
So you know how I roll.
Right.
I just roll. He was the guy who, like, anchored me. He was the guy who anchored me because, like, shit that I don't remember. Like, Jason is like my brains. Jason is like my brains. So during that time, I would forget shit, or there'd be a date coming up or whatever, and I'd be like, "So Jason, about the thing, blah blah blah," and he'd be like, "Oh yeah, blah 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 blah," and he just knocked that shit out, right? So he allowed me to be me by being himself, because he's really good at the things that I'm not good at, and so he was able to support me as president and support the club in a way to where, I mean, they have 10 goals that you have to achieve as a club to become President's Distinguished, which is the highest recognition you can get in the organization as a club. So when I came in as president, I was like, look, it's President's Distinguished or bust. We're doing 10 out of 10 goals. If y'all ain't trying to get down with that shit, then you're happy to. It's good for you to go right now, because this is where we're at. This is where we're going. If you're not down with that, you don't have to be. And if you're not, you need to move on so I can get somebody who is. Laid down that gauntlet. Everybody was cool, and this guy was my support. Like
it wasn't after some coaching, for sure.
Well, but still though, but you stepped up is my point. You stepped up and you supported me, you supported the club in a way to where we accomplished all those goals. And I got love for Jason because of the fact that he knows who he is and he's comfortable in his own skin and he's willing to be a team player.
Can't argue with that.
I mean,
man. You can't argue.
It's hard to argue against
It's hard
that.
to.
It's hard to
It's
argue
hard
with
to.
that. And then, he's like, yeah, we will support Mohead y'all too. So
Can't argue. You can't argue with that either.
Oh, like, what's hilarious about it is me and my friends, we always got together, and a couple of my buddies are into craft beer and stuff like that, and they would like, hey, try this out, and I'm like, whatever, just give me a beer so I can drink it, and just to drink it. And then I started listening to the podcast, and I was like, oh shit, like maybe I should start tasting the beer instead of just drinking it. And the more you guys got me trying out just different stuff. Like I went down to the place in Greenwood. What was the name?
Total Wine.
Yes. Yeah.
Total Wine.
And I just started grabbing random stuff off the shelf. Now, myself, I like more like citrus beers, like the Spotted Callus you got me. Thank you guys very much
You're
for
welcome.
that. I know that is hard to get a hold of.
You're welcome.
I immensely appreciate that. But that's usually my lane. But listening to you guys, I've been just like, oh, I'll try some of this shit. I'll try some of that. And it's been eye-opening. Now, I'm the noobiest noob in the world, but, hey, I'm learning.
Well, and that's part of it. So, I mean, when we got together the last time, you brought, what was that, Moon Man?
Oh,
He
yeah.
bought Moon.
I
He
love
bought Moon Man, and he bought Petrus.
Love Petrus.
See?
Yeah, I love it.
But now it's just me going to the Greenwood place and just like, oh, that sounds good. I want to get something out of the country and just try that out.
Right.
Yeah.
What was your normal go-tos, Jason? Like
Normal,
before you got connected with Mohead y'all and, start thinking instead of just drinking?
Usually it was something like way back in the day, it was always Killian's. And then I kind of got off of Killian's because of an incident that happened when I went down to the regatta. I'll tell you about that if you're curious.
I might be.
So that was the hard lesson that Jason had to learn about drinking beer in the sun. And it was like...
I know this story.
Yeah.
We all do.
At the time, I was just like, dark beer or bust.
Holy shit.
And I was sitting on the shores of the regatta with my buddies, and they're drinking Mickey's.
Mickey's Ice?
Oh, wow. That's not much better. Holy shit.
And then pulled out my Killians. I'm drinking my Killians one after another.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, damn, I'm really full and I'm really hot. And they're like,
I'm really hot.
and they're like, here, try this light beer. And I'm like, I don't know. I tried it and I was like, oh, damn.
That's all I'm drinking.
Fuck this dark beer. And then I got into the cream ales and I went to Madison, Wisconsin and tried the Spotted Cow on a work trip. So I've been everything towards that is what I've been trying to drink.
Okay, so more lighter, approachable beer.
Yep.
For the most part. Okay, cool.
Yep.
I saw that you guys got a darker beer earlier. What was that you grabbed?
So that was a porter that they had.
Was that by Pax Vera?
Yes.
Yes, with the barrel aged malt. Yes.
Yep. That was a little bit, for my taste, a little bit flatter. So
That's what he said. Yeah, it's interesting you said that.
So I started comparing every porter towards the thing you guys did with Cedar Creek.
Mm-hmm.
Resurrection.
Oh, my God. That.
What did you say? Oh, yeah, that's what I'm hearing. Yeah. We got the funk.
That was fire. Like, I decided that I was only going to drink that because, when I was really doing something special or whatever. And I love cooking. And so whenever I would start cooking, I would break that out and just sip on it while I was cooking.
Okay.
And, so good. I'm sorry if you guys missed it. Too bad for you. Great for me. It's fantastic. Now every
Preach
porter,
on it, brother. Preach on it.
Every porter has to live up to that. And unfortunately, the Pax Rerum did not live up to it.
Well, let's see what this one's got. So this is actually a stout, a breakfast stout that me and Heaven got on our honeymoon. This is from Hitchhiker. This is it's got maple syrup and coffee and there's like one other thing that's in it I can't remember. But it's got coffee, maple syrup. Do you remember, Boo, what was in it? It's not on the can. It says breakfast stout.
Breakfast.
It's got
breakfast.
It's dry
sausage, eggs, and bacon.
Yeah, it's dry hopped with eggs.
And bacon?
Not really.
No, it's got cinnamon in it, I think. Cinnamon.
Oh, you don't like cinnamon, though.
She's allergic to cinnamon.
Oh.
So
Cinnamon.
since you just had that the brew link, you might actually like this one because it's more of a darker taste to it.
By the way, congratulations to both of you.
Thank you, appreciate that. Thank you. Okay. It's got maple syrup, Mexican Osaka coffee from 19 Coffee Company, and vanilla beans. 7%, I believe.
It says woke on the can.
That's the beer name is Woke.
Go woke, you go
Whoa.
broke. That's what they say.
Yes, right. That's right. It's one of the last ones we got from Hitchhiker.
That's pretty good.
They're kind of like I don't know if you know who 450 North is, but they're kind of like 450 North of Pennsylvania.
Okay.
But they're more respectable in my opinion.
Okay.
And my good homie Charlie, he's the head brewer there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I actually have some like actual ties to this place, so it's pretty cool.
There's some Illuminati beer?
I don't know, maybe.
I mean, I'm seeing all the Illuminati signs on the can.
Get woke, dude.
I guess so.
Get woke.
I guess so. Wow, that's good though.
I
like
can't
it.
figure out what I'm tasting. I feel like a syrupy taste to it, like
You said the
Mrs.
cinnamon.
Buttersworth.
It's got maple syrup in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the maple syrup.
And it's got Mexican origin coffee and vanilla bean.
Did you say Mexican origin coffee?
Yes.
Orgy?
Origin.
Origin. Okay,
Orgasm.
sorry.
What are you saying?
Mexican orgy coffee.
Mexican orgasm coffee.
So when they, do you know actually how they make that kind of coffee?
How they
So what they do
Orgasm
is
coffee?
so what they do is there's an orgasm, right? And they make a couple pots of coffee
Right after?
during the orgasm.
during the orgasm, and because that's what helps them get them going. You know what I mean? And then what's left over, they just cuvee the coffee, and then that's what
They cuvee the cum.
that's what Mexican
Why'd you have to go
orgy
there?
coffee is.
Where?
Like the
When?
Corvée de cum.
What?
What?
Who? I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm just sitting here thinking about there's way too much shit going on at one time. It's more difficult enough just to be concentrating on the person, and then you're making coffee on the
You
side.
talking about cum?
And I asked you if you was ready for this.
Dude, you know me.
I asked you if you was ready for this.
I mean,
So and then the
In their cuvee.
right, but before then, the coffee is actually made at the beanery with cum.
Oh, see, and there's the answer to your question.
Okay.
Hey, it me. Small disclaimer. None of that was fucking true. It's called Osaka coffee. Thank you.
Disclaimer.
Disclaimer. So none of that was actually true.
Orgasms and
Avoid being
Osaka
sued.
is not.
The only thing that was said that
affiliated
was
with
tr-
Mohead Joe.
the only thing that was true that was said so far on this podcast was the fact that I'm wanted by the Russian government.
That is true.
You guys don't even know each other. Jason's not even a fucking patron. Some dude we just got off the street at Firebird.
He just pulled up on Firebird.
He said,
Yeah.
"What up, y'all? Come on, let me slide on in real
Let me
quick."
just slide up on in here.
a guy's got to get a meal. You know what I'm saying?
Motherfucker,
I'm not mad at you.
Motherfucker gotta eat, dude.
Motherfucker, I gotta eat. So I'm curious, Jason. You're, and this is not meant to be offensive, but you're a nerd in some ways.
Oh, for sure.
There's nothing wrong with being a nerd.
Well, some people
We're
might take
all
offense to
nerds.
that. I'm just saying, some people get offended, but you have your Clerks hat on,
Oh yeah.
Indeed.
and you have a connection with Clerks. What,
for sure.
Yeah. Tell us about your connection to Clerks.
Well, let me first say, if you've not seen the movie Clerks, you must run
You're
out
fucking up.
immediately and find it and watch it.
Like, stop this podcast right now and go to the movie store or wherever you get your movie needs.
Go to the red box.
Watch it and then come back to what Jason's
Yeah,
saying.
exactly.
Yeah, yep.
Because the story behind Kevin Smith is and his friends, it just captured my imagination. So, like, he went out and made the movie Clerks for $27,000. But what's trippy is his two best friends were just like, dude, you're freaking nuts if you want to go make a movie. And then if you fast forward into like 10 years later, he got those same friends that said, you're fucking nuts for going out and trying to make this movie. They were on a TV show in AMC called Comic Book Men. They were
love
the
that
stars
show. Yes, that was so cool.
of that show. But those are the same two guys that were just like, dude, you're crazy.
Yep.
And he followed his dreams, and then not only did his dreams make him super, famous and rich or whatever, but it made his friends to where they could live off of that
Right.
with their podcast. Speaking of podcasts, if you listen to a podcast called Tell 'em Steve Dave, it was all based off of that show was all based off that podcast.
Interesting. Okay.
So I'm a huge unapologetic fan of Kevin Smith, so much so that I joined the Kevin Smith Club. I know sounds maybe a little bit lame,
No, dog, not here.
but
You're not wrong.
the cool thing was about me joining the club at the level that I joined at, that sometime in the next few months, I'm going to get a call that says, hey, come on over to New Jersey. Let's check out like the Smod Castle Cinema that we just bought, and let's have dinner with Kevin Smith and hang out and all that shit. And I'm like, sign me up. I'm good.
Holy
I'm
shit.
down.
That's dope as fuck.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I can't wait either. That's pretty dope.
Maybe
Yeah.
that sounds like a second visit to the podcast to tell you what happened there.
I would believe so, yeah. I think so. I think that would be cool as an update, yeah, for 100%.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
See, man, that's why I fuck with this
That's
dude,
right,
man.
dude. That's awesome.
So you noticed immediately the hat too.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just curious, where did you guys come into contact with the movie and that whole genre?
I saw Clerks when I was probably like fucking maybe 10 years old, maybe.
No shit,
10?
Trent Fleener.
Maybe, yeah.
It's probably not a movie for a 10-year-old.
Probably not, but I saw
Sad.
it anyways. Yeah, I was probably about 10. When did that movie come out? I can't remember.
Bro, don't ask me, man.
95?
95. Yeah, I was probably about 10 years old when I saw that.
There are no brothers that I know that has watched Clerks.
No brothers?
No brothers that I know of.
Not when it came out.
Oh.
I didn't see it when it came out. I saw it when I was 10. I was a big 4-year-old.
Mommy, wow.
I could
I'm
talk
a big
about-
kid
yeah.
now.
But I also love a lot of the other stuff that Kevin Smith does, and he's a huge comic book nerd. I'm a huge comic book nerd, so the relation between the two was really cool.
So that's why you guys were so into the Voltron beers. Okay.
Yes, 100%.
Oh.
We are huge nerds. Yes, I'm a huge comic book nerd. I love, Marvel and DC and all that kind of stuff. So I'm as about as nerdy as it fucking gets.
We used to, back in the day when they used to live at Fort Franklin, I would roll through when Mandalorian, wasn't it?
Yeah, you'd come
first
over.
year, the first season of
First season,
Mandalorian.
come over once a week and watch Mando with us. Yeah, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. Anybody who knows me is I am a huge Star Wars nerd. I've got Star Wars tattoos all over me. I'm just a big ass nerd. There's nothing wrong with that.
So
his ass really isn't that big. I can fit one cheek in in the palm of my hand.
I do have a frog butt.
Frog booty.
Flat as a pancake, dude.
Frog booty.
That's right.
So, I think, if I remember correctly, the first time I ever heard of or saw Clerks was when I was in high school. And the first time I watched it, I, of course, couldn't appreciate it for what it was. But I will say that it led me to watching Dogma, Mallrats, all the other good ones.
where does Chasing Amy stack up for you?
I've seen it.
Okay.
It's all right. I like Dogma is probably
The best?
Probably.
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
like
yeah.
Alanis Morissette
Who can-
is
who-
God. Like, what do you want me to
Who couldn't get down with the big old poop monster?
Morissette.
But after watching other films, I went back and could then appreciate Clerks for what it is from a cinematography perspective, from like the black and white film perspective, how much hard work with such little money went into that perspective. It was definitely a different view the second, third, fourth, umpteenth time I watched it.
Yeah, the whole reason why they went black and white on that was because dude didn't have money. So it's like it was a whole, how do I pay for film? And it's like all I got is the money I'm making off my comic books that I'm selling and all the credit cards I got.
Doing it out of necessity.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yep, did that bare necessity.
Yeah, when my friend who introduced me to it, he was just like, "Hey, you should check out this black and white film," and I'm like, "Black and white film?" I'm like, I don't want to watch any of that old
What,
shit.
this shit vaudeville? What the fuck we talking about?
Fucking I Live Lucy shit.
Yeah.
No,
Like a
he's like,
honeymoon or something? This motherfucker?
He's like, "No, man, it's just like last year," and I'm like, "All right, I'll check it out." And I was like, "Wow, this spoke to me."
Why did it speak to you?
You know, as Deacon was saying over here, is just the nerd speaking to you a little bit.
Okay.
And conversations that me and my friends were having, just stupid conversations like, the construction workers on the Death Star was a big, huge piece of the
oh my
Clerks,
God. Yep.
And it was just stupid
The
conversations
exhaust
like
port.
that.
Yep.
And we were just like, oh, wow. Okay, I can get along with this guy. This is
You got
pretty
the
cool.
personal connection. That's why.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how I was, the
Interesting.
personal
Okay.
connection. My man knew about the exhaust port and the Death Star, the one center point that could fuck the whole entire most badass star system battle station in the planet was that little exhaust port. It's things like that I geek over, shit like that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So it was like nerd heart to heart talk.
Absolutely, but it was like, it was real because what he had said was like, in the movie, there's a guy who owns a roofing company, and he overhears them talking about the construction workers on the Death Star, and he was just like, yeah, he was like, all those construction workers that died on the Death Star, that was pretty shitty, but you know what you sign up for. You're going to be working for Darth Vader, so why the hell did you do that? You deserve to die.
That is funny as fuck, man. You are working for Darth Vader, so what do you expect?
And the funny thing is, those are the thoughts that I think of on a daily basis when I
Get
awake.
the
No,
fuck
it is.
outta
I'm
here.
sitting there just, working in the Bobcat, scraping in the, and I'm saying, I don't really think Mace Windu really died when he got thrown off that building by Palpatine.
We don't know.
Come on.
It's things like that.
We
that
don't
I
know.
It's Samuel motherfucking Jackson.
Well, they
He didn't
did- they-
die.
That motherfucker survived snakes on a plane. Certainly he can survive
They
Palpatine.
did. Disney did say they are doing a Mace Windu TV show with Samuel Jackson. So
Shut up.
I was.
Is that real?
It is real.
Yeah.
Oh.
I hope they do. I
didn't
hope
know. They did not.
Wow.
They did not. They did
Younger
not.
Mace
They did not. They
Windu.
did not.
Younger Mace Windu.
So I'm sending the wedding pictures, and I'm being like, "Hey,
dude, that should be for it should be your next bust for your next book, is you in the Mace Windu and get up.
Trent Cleaner, that will happen.
Just don't
That
forget
will
about
happen.
don't forget about old dad in the back of the
Was
book
that-
credits.
I want that. What?
My man. Are you?
I don't
Did
know
you
that
know
I
that?
ever. I don't
Well,
know that I did.
You
too.
were Mace Windu?
Well, and their wedding.
Oh.
He married us
I knew
as
he
Mace
married
Windu.
you guys, but I
as
know
Oh,
Mace
he
I
was
didn't.
Mace
Okay,
Windu.
yeah,
Yes.
that might have been me.
Did you have the purple lightsaber?
That was the only thing we
That
couldn't
was-
get.
So I had the lightsaber.
He had
I
the.
had
Did
that-
you have BMF written on it?
It did not say bad motherfucker on it.
It did not. It did not because it was taken from the brother.
That's some poor fucking cosplay is all I'm saying.
Hey, it was as good as we could
it
get
was-
in a timely
you ain't lying.
fashion.
You ain't wrong. You ain't wrong. I do appreciate what you said.
I also do
Jason,
appreciate that too.
and-
But I also appreciate Ant for putting in the moves,
Hey,
doing work.
for YouTube.
You put in work, dog.
for
and I
YouTube?
appreciate the fuck out of you.
For YouTube?
You married us, dude.
I did, and happy to. Well, I was gonna say happy to do it again, but it ain't gonna happen again unless y'all renew your vows like down the road at some point.
Totally.
Probably in 10 years.
There you go. So
Next-
I'll be there.
So
All right, sounds good.
I'll be there.
here's the funny thing. I was listening to that episode coming into here when you were going on about, you pretending to be Sam Jackson and talking about the episode from Dave Chappelle's show.
Yes.
And all I'm
Yes.
picturing is John Popper sitting there and going, motherfucker, this is mine. I'm like, damn, man. Blues Traveler done got real.
So
Done got real.
I'll be honest. I have been called the White Dave Chappelle.
Right on. I can see
I
that
have
now.
been.
Yeah,
I have been
for
dubbed that before by Paul.
Is
Before I
right?
when he first started working at the log yard, like 3 weeks in, he's like, dude, you're like the White Dave Chappelle.
No shit, Paul said that.
Yeah, and I almost cried. I was like, oh my god, like that's better than and my wife telling me she loves me. But yes, that I'm glad that you brought that up. Actually, won't you tell him the story
I
how
was just
how
thinking of that.
you conjured up knowing about that skit? Won't you tell him
Goddamn,
that since we're on
man.
that subject?
This motherfucker was telling me about. So there's Samuel Adams beer.
Yes.
So I didn't know that there was a skit that Chappelle did that was Samuel L. Jackson beer. I did not.
You didn't.
I didn't know.
You didn't.
Out of all
you didn't
people,
know?
that's what I said.
But-
Out of
but-
all
but-
people,
what?
I didn't watch.
not
I didn't
you
watch
people,
Chappelle.
out of all people.
Like I didn't watch the Chappelle show. I just don't watch TV.
Like I didn't
Yeah.
watch Chappelle either, but I saw all that
Did
stuff
not-
on
Hey, that's what I
Did
said
not.
too, man.
I
But
did not.
my man just didn't watch TV. But
and not a
you
whole lot of
digress.
YouTube, for real. So I didn't know. I did know.
I know you didn't.
I didn't know
That might be the first. If you don't know, now you know.
because that was the first. If you don't know now, you know. That was like. So I didn't know
like
this.
the whole GI Joe thing.
So Trent says,
yeah.
knowing is half the battle.
Yeah.
G.I.
Yeah.
Joe, Mohead Joe.
We're
I didn't
Voltron.
know.
Hey, we're Voltron, dude, not G.I. Joe.
Well, in that case,
Who's Cobra Commander then in this situation, real quick?
Ooh, Chad.
I think Brains
Yeah,
probably.
you're the you are
No,
you are
you're not Cobra Commander.
Chad's Cobra Commander of Mohead, y'all. You're not on, dude. Sorry. Get back to work, peasant.
Get to work.
He said, "Fuck you guys."
Man,
Anyways.
Jason, I did not know about the Samuel L. Jackson skit. And Trent knew, I didn't know. And he's like, you have got to watch this skit.
Have to.
I can't remember however many times it was, how many days passed. Went to Fort Franklin when they were at Fort Franklin. And Trent puts it up on the big screen. I've never seen this in my life. I know Samuel L. Jackson
I've
and I
never
know
s-
Samuel Adams.
I've never seen a grown man cry so hard from
Dude,
laughter.
I was on the fucking floor, man. That shit changed my life. It really did. that changed my life.
Dude,
when I
since-
watched that, Trent will tell
Dude,
you.
and
I was
okay,
I
and-
was dead. I was done.
Not to mention that it had a young Bill Burr with hair in it. As one of the guys, like, I'll have a Samuel Jackson too.
Oh,
Bill Burr with hair.
Wow.
Haven't you seen my movies?
Juice, that was a good one. Deep Blue Sea, they ate me. A fucking shark. ate me. He's like, why are you so loud? That's how I talk.
Jason, I never
Man.
saw that skit ever, and I was done. I was done.
I'm glad that they fulfilled your life and shared that with you because you can't miss that. That was just too perfect.
Everybody
know.
in the world needs to see it one time.
At least one time.
At least
If you
every
listen to one-
American needs to see it one time.
Or if you listen to the Mohead Y'all show and you haven't seen it, you got to
well,
watch
the
it.
Russians are.
Oh, that's right.
But we're going to fix the
She
Russian.
said I'll put a link in the description.
I'm telling you, with the picture of him on a horse, shirtless, and then you got it all
Man,
covered.
I should have been a cowboy.
Dude, so you do that, and then I just come back from the dead from Palpatine.
R.I.P.
With the
Toby
purple-
Keith.
Bro.
He's still dead, by the way. I don't
no,
know if
he's
anybody
not.
knows. No, he's not dead. He just went home.
So is Toby Keith hanging out with Tupac and Biggie and Bin Laden and Carl Weathers?
I don't think he's hanging out with Laden.
You think we actually got him?
If we didn't, that motherfucker's dead by now.
I mean, just starvation.
But okay,
yeah,
I mean,
okay,
yeah,
that-
100%. But I've seen pictures and videos, so I don't know, man. Anyways,
So what's this other one that you got over here?
So we're gonna do one more, and it's probably leading to the palate cleanser. So this
Yeah.
this is the third installment of Ant's fucked up Japanese beer that he brought us not too long ago. From now, I'm not talking about this thing. I'm talking about Ant Junior. Ant
Well,
number
he's
two,
not even a junior.
Well, right, he's not a junior. Ant number 2 said, "Yo, Dad, I got these cool Japanese beers, and I want
That he
y'all to
got from
try
the
them."
market.
They got from Market, and then Ant brought them. It was probably like sometime earlier last year. We had.
Probably about the fall of last year, I want to say.
Yeah, we had an we had an IPA that had fish flakes in it,
Ooh.
and that was one of the best beers I had all year.
Seriously?
Seriously, dude.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
A-
And then
a-
we
a
had
surprise.
Yep, and then we had another IPA that was just not fishy. And then this is a porter, so I figured we'd crack this one in there. Plus my man's got his butt cheeks hanging out, and I figured
because he's a sumo. They like to have their butt cheeks out.
he kind of looks like a monk, but yeah, so we'll
I
crack
mean,
this
he's
open.
awfully skinny for a sumo.
That's what I was kind of thinking.
Yeah.
Well, but it's from the backside because it's the belly.
Yeah, but they should already have like the love handles and all the gizmos and gadgets.
Man, have you ever seen what was it, Yokozuna?
Yes,
Yokozuna?
that was a big motherfucker.
So you're like not selling me on this beer when somebody has to decide that they have to take a profile shot of a sumo wrestler to put on there to sell the beer.
It's from Tokyo,
It is from
Jason.
Japan.
It's
Sorry,
from
my bad.
Tokyo,
It-
Jason.
it-
That's how they get
It
down.
is the Tokyo Black Porter.
Hi, LB. Hi, Chad.
So we'll go ahead and do a shout out real quick, even though Ant just did it for our patrons. Shout out to LB, Chad in the back, and homeboy Jason sitting right there,
right
there,
like in the flesh.
in the flesh,
Funky fresh
live
in
in
the
color.
flesh.
That's right.
Live and in Technicolor.
And then give that to the Firebird homeboys. All right, so we've had our experiences with these Tokyo beers, haven't we?
We have, and you know what? We might as well just roll into a palate cleanser.
At this point, is there anything, Jason, that you want to say, or some last parting words to everybody,
Shots, words of wisdom.
to all the poor people?
Thank you guys all for having me on here. I texted to heaven. It's like meeting a couple stars here of what I've been listening to in my ear for so long. So I appreciate you guys having me on, and
Well, thank you. Thank you.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
And I would say that if anybody out there is struggling with building their confidence, one of the places that you can go to is to a Toastmasters club, and it will help you develop public speaking skills and leadership skills. And so just go to Toastmasters International, Google the shit, and you'll find a club near you. Come hang out with us. It's not scary.
Not at all.
Yep. Would appreciate having you guys come out. I mean, help me build confidence for myself, and it would help everybody else too.
Thanks, Jason. Thanks for hanging out, y'all.
Yo, don't forget to check us out on
Facebook,
Instagram,
YouTube,
TikTok, and Patreon.
Patreon. Remember to enjoy responsibly.
Take care of each other.
And always,
Pour
pour
heavy.
heavy.